Welcome back to Gardening with Grandpa B. Today we're talking about raised beds. We're going to talk about a problem that you'll, after having raised beds for a couple years, what might happen is you'll get layers of harder soil in there. And what I want to share with you is a tool that I've used for years and years, and it's very useful because one of the most important things is getting air, oxygen into your soil without tilling it and turning it over. And you might say that's a challenge. Well, it is, but let me introduce to you the Broadfork. This is a very heavy tool. This version is about 30 inches wide. What I want to show you on this version, what's really important are these tines that are going to go into the soil. You want this reinforcement here that gives you that strength. You can see this guy's been well used. I've broken through many a hard pan with this soil, with this tool, and it stood up to the test of time. Once again, this is what is called a Broadfork. You may not see this in a lot of stores, gardening stores. You may have to find, there's some wonderful tools online. Once again, this is called a Broadfork. The things you want, like I said, you want to make sure it's got reinforced tines. You want to make sure the handles, as you can see, this has gone through one handle, but it's fortunate it's very simple and easy to replace the handle. But what this tool does is, after you've done beds for a while, you may get some, like I said, some soil stratification. What this tool, because you certainly don't want to go in here and turn everything over. You don't want to do that. You're going to pull up weed seeds, you're going to pull up a lot of mess. What you do want to do is bring oxygen into the soil. And how this tool is used, what you'll find, see when I first go in, I hit a hard surface down there about 4 inches, and I want to get some oxygen in there to help break them up. Yes, cover crops are a great tool. Let me speak briefly on the cover crops. You'll see a lot on winter rye, oats. I've had good success with vetch. One note on cover crops: make sure your thought process is at what you're going to put in after that cover crop is gone, because some cover crops are going to leave little residue, they're not going to leave this big root mass that you have to cut through. Some, like oats, are not going to leave hardly much of a root mass, but they're going to get oxygen down. So my comment on cover crops is always know what the crop is after that cover crop is going to be done. You want something that, if it's tomatoes, you can easily cut through the root mass with this guy. So you can just go into that green mass and cut in there and put your tomato plant. But if you're going to plant lettuce or radishes or something that's a little bit more where you're doing a row, it may not be the best choice. So like I said, be aware of what the next crop is when you do a cover crop. So let's get back to my Broadfork. So I pushed it in and I felt a resistance. So here's your chance for a good workout. Don't need a gym membership here, but I'm going to work it all the way down until I can feel that I'm cutting through that layer of soil. So see, I'm all the way down. I bottomed out. So the next thing I'm going to do is use Mr. Leverage, and I can feel there's resistance there, but I'm going to lift him up. I'm going to lift that up, and when I do, I feel that the soil is opening up. Let's do this again a little further over. But see, I put him in. I feel resistance really close to the top of the soil. So I'm going to work him in. It'll go in. I'm all the way in. Now I'm going to take it. I'm going to lift him. And you can see here, you don't want to overturn it. What you want to do is just open up that soil so oxygen can get in. And that's all you do. And you're going to go another 6 inches. I'm going to repeat this process. Once again, I'm hitting a hard pan there. The best way, like I said, you can use green, you can use cover crops, which will break through that. This is another technique if you want to choose to do that. So I'm all the way down, and I'm going to lift. And that's going to break up the soil, and it's going to get oxygen down there, which is going to help all your beneficial microorganisms. So we'll do one more here. And lift. And that's all you do. I'll come back and repeat it until I get this whole bed done. It's fall right now, a good time to do this. It doesn't matter what time of year, you know, as far as fall or spring. I like fall. Temperatures are cooler. You've got a little less activities going on right now. So once again, here's your best tool for breaking up that hard pan, if you get it in raised beds, is the Broadfork.